Good morning, bird brains, and welcome back to another video. I wanted to do this video while riding, but A, the weather has been total crap lately, and I know people up north are gonna bitch about that, but whatever. And B, I kind of wanted Miss Bird to be in on this video so she could kind of voice her opinions. So as you could tell by the title of the video, we did not purchase the Steed, the 2017 Road Glide. So to fill you in real quickly in case you have no idea what we're talking about, for the Big Bend trip, Cowboys Alamo City Harley Davidson allowed me to borrow one of their used bikes. It was a 2017 Road Glide Ultra, looked like this. The bike had, by the time I was done with it, it had about 16,000 miles on it, which kind of brings me to my next point is why we did not buy it. Now, Ms. Burr, would you say that that bike was right for us?
The style of the bike, I would say, was right, but not that particular bike, not that VIN.
So the thought of having a comfortable touring bike was good.
Yes, the style, touring bike, right? That's the style.
Sure, but more so on the features of the bike. So having the tour pack, the bigger bike, the comfortable seat, it made you want to ride more on the back, correct?
I always want to ride more. It provided me the ability to be able to ride like I want to.
Yeah, because you have the body of an 85-year-old woman.
Right.
Okay, so we were able to do...
So rude.
But
I'm working on it.
It's accurate. You're not working on anything. Losing weight does not build muscle.
That's true, but it's super uncomfortable for me to go on rides.
Yeah, because you have the back of a 97-year-old.
Yeah.
So with the Ultra, she was able to go on 100+ mile rides with really, you didn't bitch at all.
I had not an issue.
Yeah, she was able to sit on the seat completely without touching me. No legs, no stomach, no boobies, nothing was touching me, which was, for me, as a rider, was nice as well. So we kind of talked about it, and we ended up pretty much wanting to pull the trigger on it. Our biggest concern was the mileage, but given the right price, we were willing to deal with that mileage. So I contacted Alamo City Harley Davidson, had them run some numbers. I had them run numbers on that particular bike as well as a 2018 Road Glide Special, a 2019 Road Glide Special, as well as a 2019 and 2018 Road Glide Ultra. In case you don't know the difference between the Special and the Ultra, the Special does not have the tour pack and it has all of the blacked out parts. The Ultra has the tour pack, but it comes with all the chrome parts. That's basically the only difference. The motors are tuned very slightly differently, but not majorly. Both the Road Glide Specials and the newer Road Glide Ultras were just a little bit outside of our comfortable price range. We could have made it work, especially with all the help of the patrons and stuff like that, and the money that the channel's bringing in. But I didn't want to stretch myself that thin, this close to the wedding, given that bike having so many miles. There really wouldn't be any built-in equity into the bike when we got it.
And the more money that we spent on the actual bike is less money we can put into the bike.
Correct. And I talked about trading in the Sportster with Miss Bird, and she was somewhat okay with it. She was, correct me if I'm wrong, you were slightly disappointed at having to give it the Sportster, but you were willing to do it to get a bike that you were able to ride on the back consistently with. Mm-hmm. So we talked about trading in the Sportster, and even with that, the numbers just didn't really make sense. But I went ahead and told Cowboys to kind of run it anyways. So they got me a price, and it was a very good price. I was very happy with it. It was fair, especially given the mileage and everything like that. So we kind of decided to pull the trigger. But before we pulled the trigger, my buddy Hank over at Cowboys gave me a call, and he said, hey, we've got 4 brand new 2018 Road Glide Ultras still in the lot that we need to get rid of. Would you be willing to take that bike for the same price that we've already quoted you for the 2017 with 16,000 miles, and you just have to get gray instead of red? Very easy decision to make. So we went ahead and purchased this. So that, my friends, is a 2018 Road Glide Ultra in industrial gray. In case you don't know anything about the bike, let me go ahead and tell you. The 2018 Road Glide Ultra is powered by the Milwaukee 8 107, putting out 114 pounds of torque. Comes with a 28.9 inch seat height, 6-gallon fuel tank, and comes in at 937 pounds in running order. The bike gets 43 miles per gallon and has features such as a frame-mounted shark nose fairing, a custom 15-inch windscreen, the dual Daymaker headlights, adjustable suspension, the reflex-linked Brembo brakes standard with ABS, as well as the premium Boombox 6.5 infotainment system. So yeah, basically we got spoiled over the weekend in Big Bend and decided that we needed a touring bike in our life more than we needed the Sportster. Now, before anybody freaks out, no, we did not get rid of the Dyna to get this bike. That was not going to happen. It wouldn't have made sense to happen. The numbers just weren't there, but I wouldn't do it anyways. We did end up getting rid of the Sportster because it was completely paid off, so it did make a lot of sense, and they gave me a very good number on the trade-in, given the popularity that the bike had and the attention I was able to push towards that bike. So if you're interested in purchasing Mia, you can head over to Cowboys Alamo City Harley Davidson. It might be there, it might already be gone by the time this video is going up. So I know I'm pushing a lot of traffic that way, so give them a call. I'll put their number here. You can also look on their website. They keep their used inventory very up to date. Miss Bird asked me if I had any feelings about her not riding and her being a rider. I told her, look, I feel that it's obvious given that the bike was complete for 2 or 3 months and she never once mentioned to me that she wanted to go ride. And I told her that tells me that you just don't have the bug. And I told her I'm 115% okay with that. I know I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I told her that there's 3 kinds of girls in the world. There's those that ride their own bikes, those that ride in the back of their husband, boyfriends, whatever's bikes, and those who want nothing to do with motorcycles at all. I told her as long as you're not that third one, I could care less as long as we have a bike that is capable of comfortably riding 2-up on for long periods of time. And you can't really get more comfortable for the passenger more than the Road Glide Ultra. So that's kind of how I feel about the whole situation, but I'll go ahead and let Miss Bird talk for herself. How do you feel about getting rid of the Sportster in exchange for a touring bike?
I will miss working on the Sportster.
Yeah, a lot of memories on that bike.
But I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to be more involved.
Yeah.
Our schedules are so jam-packed anyway that when there is time for you to ride, it usually ends up in a group ride or a local ride. And I don't usually go on group rides because the Dyna's very uncomfortable. The touring bike will allow me to be more involved. And honestly, I don't think I would have ridden the Sportster enough to feel comfortable going on a group ride in the next 2 years. And
6 years. Just being honest here. Can you imagine if you would have ridden the Sportster out to Big Bend?
No.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
It's too long of a ride. I just would not have.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have a touring bike, then I wouldn't have been able to ride with you in Big Bend.
Period.
At all. The rides were way too long. It was way too hard on my body, on my back. So I think that while I'm sad to get rid of the Sportster, it is going to be the best thing for our situation.
Agreed. Our overall situation as a couple is going to be better. Now, you mentioned working in the garage, and that's actually brings me to my next point is what are the plans for the Ultra and why did I go with the Ultra as opposed to a Road Glide Special and just add the tour pack? And Miss Burr kind of said it best that we spend so much time in the garage. I, for one, like to work on bikes almost more than I like riding them. And I know she is definitely in that boat.
That's 100% for me.
Yeah, because you don't ride them. So she loves working on bikes.
I 100% enjoy working on the bikes.
And that fact right there was actually the main reason why we went with the Ultra as opposed to the Road Glide Special. Reason being, if we went with the Road Glide Special, it comes with all the blacked out parts. Pretty much everything is blacked out. All we would have had to do is add a touring pack. That would pretty much be it. And we would be done. Aside from, bars and stage one, the boring stuff. But with the Ultra, it is a project. And as a YouTuber, the bigger the project is, the better it is for me, because that means I make more episodes, reach a larger audience, and get more views for the channel, and create more content for you guys. And it's definitely the biggest project that I've taken on by far. Just looking at it, basically what we're going to do is turn it into a Road Glide Special Ultra. The entire motor is going to be coming out to be taken. It's probably not going to be coming out, so let me rephrase that. The entire motor is going to be broken down in order to send parts out to powder coat to pretty much make it look exactly like a Road Glide Specials motor would, with all the black pieces. That's also going to include taking apart the forks, taking apart the dash, taking off all the crash guards, taking off the heat shields. We'll probably be doing a stage 1 pretty soon. Looking to hear back from sponsors on that. But of course, stage 1, intake, exhaust, and tune. That's probably going to be the only performance mods that we do on it. As far as color, it is an industrial gray, so I kind of already like the color. It does have this weird goldish pinstripe that I don't exactly know what I'm going to be doing just yet on that, but that will definitely either be getting covered up or changed if we don't just do a complete paint job on the bike. I really haven't made my mind up on that. It's a lot of work. It's going to cost a lot of money, but that might be like a year 2, year 3 kind of thing. But I do want to make a note that this will not be a performance bagger. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to keep the Dyna, is because it makes no sense to get a touring bike and then make it less comfortable and less suited for touring. So I'm going to make it a straight on touring bike. It is going to be, I'm calling the series the Ultimate Ultra, because I want it to look pretty, I want to make the coolest looking Ultra on the planet, basically. Now it's not going to be, the super 26-inch wheels and all that. I'm going to do it tasteful. I'm going to do it my style. Hopefully by this time you guys know that when I have an idea in my head for a bike, to just trust me. I'll go ahead and show you some Photoshop work. Of course, this is on the old color that we were originally getting, but this is kind of the vision I had. So this was before. This is completely stock. This is what the bike would have looked like if I would have gotten it. This is what the bike that we currently have looks like minus the color. And then this is what I want to turn it into. As you can see, pretty much just blacked out everything, changed the handlebars, things like that. But definitely not going overboard with it, but definitely is going to look like a completely different bike by the time we are done with it. I don't plan on wrapping it because my brain's just hurting trying to think about wrapping a touring bike. I would never ever take on that task. Just big nopes all around. But in standard bike and bird build fashion, we are going to put our own little touch on it. And when I say my touch, I really mean our touch, because this was a shared purchase. We are splitting this bike pretty much down the middle because it is our bike. She gave up her bike for it, so it's only fair to bring her in on the choices. But I did. She was like, well, since it's mostly your bike, we should do like a 60-40 split. So I did agree to that. So it's not 50-50, it is 60-40. But I put a stipulation in that I would be the tiebreaker if we couldn't decide on something. But we pretty much have extremely similar tastes. So, I really don't see us butting heads or anything on any of the decisions. And if we do, butt heads, I think I might just toss up to the Patreons and let them decide, even though I am paying more, but whatever. So one of the questions I got from my OGs and some of the Patreons that I let know is, why not make the upgrade to the 2019s to get the bigger motor and the better boombox? And that simply comes down to price. The price difference between this bike being a 2018 and what I would have had to pay on a 2019 would have been about, just thinking on a monthly payment, probably another $200 a month. It would have been that much of a difference. Now, the 114, I don't really care about. I test rode both the 107s and the 114 touring bikes. It really wasn't that big of a difference. Now, of course, you're talking, stage 2, things like that. You start seeing bigger improvements, but I don't plan on doing that to this bike. That's not what I'm buying this bike for. With doing this kind of stuff with this bike, that's going to allow me to dump a lot more money into the Dyna and put more performance mods on that, since I don't have to worry about long trips on that anymore. It's strictly just going to be a performance bike now. I really would have liked to have the new boombox. It was kind of a tough pill to swallow because I didn't think I would be using it that much, but after having it in Big Bend, I used it a lot more than I expected to. But it's just one of those things, with this much built-in equity, I can have this bike for a year, 2 years, put some mods on it, sell it, and probably still make a profit on it. And at that point, we can get into a 2019 and start all over again. So that's basically yay! And it's basically been the pattern so far. So, and then of course the question everyone asks, spoiler, I'm not going to answer it, but we don't know what the bike is going to be named yet. Of course, with it being her bike, she's going to have input in it as well, and we're not going to continue with the trend of naming it after porn stars. So we don't know what it's going to be called.
Sorry.
I want to get your guys' opinion though. So in case you guys don't know, Adam Sandoval had a touring bike that he named the War Horse. That's the bike he took to all the Harley-Davidson dealerships. Now I thought in my head, I was like, I'm definitely not going to be doing what he did. I'm definitely not going to be doing the amount of miles that he did. But kind of as a tribute to it and kind of a play on the words, I was thinking about naming it the Battle Donkey. So, you know, War Horse, Battle Donkey.
Like, I hate it when you got somebody in your face, you trying to give them a hint and they won't leave. And then there's that big awkward silence, you know.
I think it's hilarious, and she laughed her ass off. And how fitting. She got a donkey on her shirt right now, so I don't know. If this video gets 250 likes, no, that's too low.
50, that's too low.
350?
400.
Oh, if this video gets 400 likes.
That means you have to share it with your friends and tell them to like it too, if you want it to be named.
The Battle Donkey.
The Battle Donkey.
400 likes on this video, we will name this bike the Battle Donkey. It will have some sort of decal or something signifying it as the Battle Donkey.
I hope that's unattainable because I don't want it to be named the Battle Donkey.
You're looking at about double the normal like count, so I don't know, Bird Brains. I don't know, Bird Brains. Can you do it? We'll see. But hopefully we answered all of your questions. I'm sorry this video is probably running a little bit long and it's just us sitting here talking. If you have any questions that we didn't answer, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. I know there's going to be people that are going to be rude and call us stupid for buying a bagger and yada, yada, yada. But for the most part, people have been supportive, and that's just how the internet goes. You're never going to make everybody happy. So, like I said, ask the questions you have down in the comments. I'll answer them as soon as I possibly can. Other than that, if you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. 400 likes, and we call it the Battle Donkey. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.